Good morning, everybody. Hope everyone's having a great Thursday. Is our audio good? Yeah, audio is good audio wise. Yeah, we are live Rumble Studio. Good morning, Rumble. Good morning, YouTube. Good morning, X. Facebook. We are in here. For some reason, not seeing anything on LinkedIn, even though we plugged all the information in. But let's see. LinkedIn is, I don't know what LinkedIn is. LinkedIn didn't populate the way it's supposed to, but I'm not going back on LinkedIn. So LinkedIn might not see this one here today for whatever reason. It ain't coming through. Instagram, good morning. TikTok, good morning. The topic here today, we're going to talk about this Elon versus Trump situation because it looks like Elon is not turning necessarily on Trump, but he has a problem with the bill. Actually, I guess you could say he's turning on Trump because Trump is the one who kind of pushed this whole bill that Elon seems to be pushing against. We're going to discuss that here today, and we got a good amount of stuff that we need to get to on this subject. So let me see. Are we good over here? We are good there. We good on IG. All right. So we are good in every place we need to be good at. Y'all coming in on TikTok, please like the live. Wherever y'all coming in, like the live stream, like the live stream, like the live stream, especially on TikTok. We're at we're over 400. Let's get up to 1,000 likes, please, to get started here on TikTok. I'm going to give you all the background of what we're going to be talking about here today because, yes, 100K today. Nikki, that is exactly what we're going for. Good morning to you. Good to see you in here as usual. And yeah, we're going for 100K every day when we come in here. So at least 100K likes on every live that's done, especially on TikTok audience, which is usually the biggest audience. So last week I did a whole live stream where I was talking about this big, beautiful bill that Trump has been pushing. And I was just going through some of the highlights of this bill. And it's a big bill. He literally called it the big, beautiful bill because it's a very big bill. From what I read, is over 1,000 pages long. And all of you probably know that most people in Congress don't read all of those bills. How are you going to read a 1,000-page bill? Nobody's going to sit there and read a 1,000-page bill. How much time would it take to read a book that's 1,000 pages long? Pretty long time. And someone in Congress, these people are not experts at speed reading. What they generally do is glance over the bill. They have a general idea of what's in it and maybe what's not in it. And then they vote on it. And that's pretty much how it goes. And generally, they vote with the side of their party. So if it's a bill that their party likes or that someone on their party has sponsored, then they vote in favor of it. And there's a bill that they don't like or someone on an opposing party has sponsored or something that the highlights show they should be opposed to, then they vote against it. This is pretty much how it works. For those of you who don't understand the general concepts here, the American government has three branches. You got the judicial branch, which is the Supreme Court, headed by the Supreme Court. Then you have the executive branch, which is headed by the White House, that's the president. And then you have the legislative branch, which is run by Congress. And Congress includes two groups, two entities. You have the senators, which is two from every state for a total of 100. 50 states times two equals 100. Then you have the Congress people, which are based on the amount of people you have in each state. So each state has a different number. California has a whole bunch as opposed to a smaller state such as Iowa or Rhode Island. They have much fewer. And you got about 530-ish plus members of the House of Representatives. So these are the people who vote on bills. So a president can propose a bill, but the bills all come from Congress. Then the Congress gets to vote on every bill. They decide that they like a bill, they ratify the bill, they send the bill up to the president. The president gets to decide to sign the bill. The president signs it, then that bill becomes a law. If the president vetoes it, that's basically saying no, then the president basically sends it back to Congress and says, fix some things in this bill and then send it back to me if you want. And if I like it the next time you send it back with the revisions, then I might sign it. And if I don't like it then I may still veto it, or Congress may just decide to just table the bill and say, all right, this probably is not going to pass, so let's just leave it alone and do something else. So Congress's whole job is ostensibly they're supposed to be coming up with this stuff all the time. Just coming up with bills and possible bills and ideas, proposals that could possibly become bills. And the whole thing is what makes it politics is that you got to get some people, of course, who are on your side to agree with you. Then you got to get some people who might not be on your side to agree with whatever it is that you're trying to do. Because if it's just only the people on your side and your side does not have the majority at that time, right now it's the Democrats, they don't have the majority. If the Democrats want to get a bill through Congress and possibly on the desk of the president, they got to get some of the Republicans to agree, because there are more Republicans than there are Democrats right now. And if the Republicans want to pass something, often it's certain percentages you need to pass these things. They got to get some Democrats on their side, but sometimes they'll be able to push it through if they have enough of a majority, and then they send it up to Donald Trump. And he's a Republican, so generally they can get things done they want to get done. And or they can't get things done they don't want to get done if there is a break between the political party of the president at the time and the political party that is in charge inside of Congress. So this is generally how it goes. You want to see an example of this? Barack Obama, during his second term, there was a time period where the Republicans controlled both sides of Congress, both the House and the Senate. And Barack Obama, most of you probably remember, was a Democrat. Anything he wanted to get done, he could not get done because Congress was basically blocking every idea that he had during that time period, because they were playing a political game. The political game is whatever side you're not on, just oppose whatever they do. And whatever sides you are on, just co-sign whatever they do. And this is generally how politics works. But in order to get some groundbreaking stuff done, you got to get at least a few people who are not on your political side to agree with you. So the reason that Obama was able to push through what we all know as Obamacare is because he got a few people who are not on his side to agree with him and go along with it. And that's how we end up getting something like Obamacare. So there's this delicate balance of personalities and going back and forth and backdoor deals and connecting with this person and that person and doing favors for this person to get a favor from them now. They get a favor from you later. This is the whole game of politics. And it can become very stressful when you're trying to get important things done, especially when you are literally your job when you work in politics is to do things for the people of America, lest we forget. And you're trying to get things done and you can't get it done because these people are not supposed to help you because you're on that side and they're on this side. And this is the reason why Barack Obama looked 30 years older between the time he went into office and the time that he got out of office because of all this back and forth stuff. It's one of the reasons why someone like myself, I think I have some good ideas that could probably help the people of America if I was on a platform such as politics, but I would not want to get in politics because of all the sliminess and the backdoor and all this shit that I just explained. You have to deal with this when you're in politics. This is pretty much the job. The job is what I just explained. So the job is not go stand in front of a microphone and give speeches or go on CNN or Fox and share your talking points. Those are the highlights. What you're generally doing when you work in politics is talking to other people who have conflicting interests from you, and somehow, some way, you got to get some of those people on your side, which means you got to give them something in order for them to give you something. And there's a whole bunch of this shit you do all day, every day. And if you like that sounds good, then you should get into politics. If it doesn't sound good, you should probably stay out of the game, as far as I'm concerned. So here's what's happening right now. And please like the live, folks. Can we get up to 5,000 likes on TikTok? What's happening now is Elon Musk. Everybody knows Elon Musk, right? So he's the guy who has this company called Tesla where they make cars. I think all of you have heard of them. And he's got a bunch of other things. He's got SpaceX. They're going to do these revolutionary things when it comes to putting rockets in space, et cetera, et cetera. Elon famously got involved with Donald Trump during the 2024 presidential campaign because he decided that he didn't like what the political left was doing. So he decided to cast his lot with the political right, specifically with Donald Trump and MAGA. He was on the Trump side and he went and campaigned for Trump and he put a bunch of money behind the Trump campaign. Trump ended up winning the 2024 election, which is why we have President Trump Part 2 right now. And Elon then famously worked in this organization, DOGE, Department of Government Efficiency, to help Donald Trump, ostensibly to help Donald Trump save some money in the government and find out where money was being spent erroneously and in ways that were not effective. And he allegedly did that, depending on who you ask. People who like Elon will say he did a great job because he uncovered all this bad spending and corruption when it came to the finances. And if you don't like Donald Trump, you don't like Elon, then you'll say he didn't do anything, he didn't find anything, he was just doing corrupt things on his own to help himself out, and he achieved absolutely nothing. So depending on who you ask, you're going to get two different stories. But we all know that he was on Donald Trump's side. That we can agree on. And what's happened now, since Elon is pretty much done doing his short-term job working for the government, because he was what they call special government employee, which means you only get a certain amount of time to work, and he was only supposed to work that amount of time. He announced that from the beginning,